Hey digital fam, my name is John D. Saunders. In today's digital block, I want to go over 10 things every single website should have before they go live. Let's do this. Hey everyone, I hope all is well. If you're a business owner, then you probably thought about redesigning your website, or maybe you have redesigned your website in the past. As a team that's developed over 150 websites, we have a lot of experience with proprietary methods, WordPress, Magento, Shopify, and all the other platforms used online. So in this digital block, I wanted to go over 10 things every website should have before going live. So we're going to provide a checklist with this as well. So if you have a website developer, or even if you're developing your site yourself, you want to make sure you have these 10 things absolutely before you go live. Now these are going to include installing your Facebook pixel, analytics, webmaster tools, and a few other things. So some of them are basic, some of them are a little bit more advanced where you might need web dev help, but either way, we're going to dive in and provide you with a downloadable doc after this that you can give to your development team. Let's do this. Okay guys, here's my screen. On the right hand side, I have our list. All of this information on the right hand side can be found in the information below this video. In the full blog, all the links are there. All the content you need to get all this stuff done is there as well. So the first thing you want to do on your site is install Google Analytics. Google Analytics is going to track all of your website efforts easily and efficiently. So you'll be able to see your traffic, who's coming to your site and where, and then you can make informed decisions on what you'd like to do. So for example, I'm just in a website here. To install analytics, it's really easy. You just go to google.com/analytics. I won't walk you through the whole process just because we've done that in prior videos, but all you're going to do is hit here, hit analytics, and you're going to be able to walk through the sign up process. Now, to make that process even easier, you can download this plugin called Monster Insights. All you do is download this plugin, make sure that you install it on your WordPress site as a plugin, and then put in the specific information once you set up this analytics account. Your analytics info will always be under admin, under tracking info. That's where you'll get your UA code. Your UA code is pretty much your number for your analytics account. So it's kind of like the phone number for your analytics account. You guys can get that installed really easy and efficiently. The second way to get analytics on your WordPress site is through basic HTML setup. Essentially what they will do is give you a tracking code. All you're going to do is go into your site, appearances, editor, and then put it in the theme header right below the end of the head tag. Now, this is a little bit technical, so this side might not be the most efficient for you if you're not really on the development side. So I recommend downloading the Google Analytics setup for WordPress plugin called Monster Insights. That'll make the process easy, and of course it is free. So once you have analytics installed, you can go into analytics, and of course it can be a little overwhelming, right? There's a lot of different categories and items on this left hand side. I never spend a lot of time in analytics because I create these Google dashboards. Now what dashboards do is they compress all of your content and analytics reports into quick and easy snapshots, right? So what we've done is we've curated a list of 4, 5, 6, 7 different dashboards that we use. General Analytics Dashboard is just a general overview of your site. The SEO Dashboard is your organic search queries and people coming to the site from organic, social media, geo, mobile, and so forth, right? So when you're in analytics, all you're gonna do is go to customization, dashboards, and as you can see, I have my dashboards set up here, right? So if I hit a dashboard, it will give me the general analytics of that site, right? So I get the unique visitors, I get the top keywords, I get the SEO unique visitors, right? So to set these up, all you need to do is be logged into analytics, click one of these links on our blog. You can select your view for which site you want to add it to, and then just hit create. And that's it. It'll set that up for you in seconds. Then all you need to do is go into analytics, hit customization, dashboards, and all of your dashboards will be available there. So really, really easy stuff. Next thing you want to make sure you've done on your site is view it on desktop, mobile, and tablet. Now, this is important because the whole game is switched, right? 60% of people are on their mobile devices as opposed to 40% of people on their desktop. So it's important to make sure that your website is responsive on all devices. Now, just so you guys know, there's a tool that Google has called Google's mobile testing tool that will test your website in these different ways. What you can do also is if you're on your desktop, you can actually just squeeze the window and it'll show you a desktop, tablet, and mobile version. So this is the mobile version of the site. As you can see, all the content is compressed and looks clean. And then we have a tablet version, which is just a more condensed version of the desktop site. And then we have full desktop. Now you just don't want to rely on that. You actually want to use Google's mobile testing tool. The link is in our blog, so you can click that to check that out. Now I'm going to run a test on my site just to make sure. Google will run the test to see if your site is mobile friendly. It usually takes a few seconds to go ahead and refresh that data. Okay, so once that's done, it'll show you a mobile version of your site. It'll tell you if your page is mobile friendly or not, and it will actually give you page loading issues that you can fix. Now, in most cases, you as a brand owner or CEO, you don't have the time or the ability to go ahead and change a lot of these issues that are on the development side. So what you could do is you could run this test, send it over to your developer and say, hey, are any of these website changes affecting my site? Can you make these JavaScript or any updates on the site to help it perform better? Okay, guys, next up is installing the Facebook Pixel. Now, the main reason you want to do this before your site goes live is because the Facebook Pixel essentially drops a cookie that will track visitors on your website so you can advertise to them later. This is also called retargeting. Now, it also has other applications. So, for example, if someone visits your website, right, and they go to the contact page but don't complete the form, you can actually send those people targeted ads that go after them to say, hey, we saw you visit our contact page. How can we answer any of your questions? So you can create specifically targeted ads for those individuals. The easiest way to get this on your site is to download a plugin called Facebook Pixel by Pixel Your Site. You download the plugin, then you go into Facebook, go to manage your ads in Facebook, which is usually in the upper right-hand corner. Once you're there, you're gonna hit this menu in the upper left, hit Pixels. If you haven't created a pixel yet, it'll give you an option to make one. Once you make one, you'll have a pixel ID. You'll usually be able to find that within the code. It'll usually say pixel ID right next to it. You take that code and you give it to your developer and tell them, hey, let's go ahead and put that in this plugin so that we can activate the pixel on your site. Now, once this plugin's installed, all you need to do is drop that pixel ID in and that's it. You don't have to do any type of HTML or any other development. So you can actually do that yourself. Now, once that's done, you're also going to want to download a Chrome extension called Facebook Pixel Helper. Now, what that will do is when you go to your site, it will tell you if a Facebook Pixel is installed there. So that's how you get the pixel installed on your site. Now, the main reason you want that on your site is because it's going to give you amazing amounts of data. So for example, one of our stores, we have the pixel installed. Now, what we did was we saw that people were purchasing. The pixel was picking up that information of people that were purchasing on the site. We actually made a persona of people likely to purchase. That's a tongue twister. And we were able to create targeted campaigns that went after that demographic. So if a lot of the people on the site are purchasing are 18 to 24 males in the Midwest, Facebook will actually go after those individuals automatically from the data of your pixel. So it's really, really monumental that you get this done quickly because the pixel captures about 6 months of data. So if your site goes live today and 4 weeks from now you're starting a campaign, now you have 4 weeks of data that you can leverage. Also, if you have any questions regarding Facebook Pixel implementation, you can click this guide straight from Facebook. Really easy, super intuitive, and it will save you tons of time in the future. All right, guys, step 4 is setting up your Google Search Console and submitting your sitemap. Now, Search Console is a tool that helps you monitor and maintain your site presence in the search results. It's basically a cheat sheet for knowing what Google wants from your site and making changes to increase your rankings and uncover things that need work on your site. So essentially, you're gift wrapping your website and you're submitting it to Google for Google to go ahead and tell you, hey, these are the changes we think you should make, or this is the information that we're providing so that you can increase your SEO. So if you have Google Analytics installed, Search Console is really, really easy to activate. You're just going to go to Google Search Console. I'm just going to do a quick example. You're going to go add property. You're going to put your website link in there. I'm just going to put something random, just so I can show you the process. Hit add. And then all you're going to do is hit alternate methods, Google Analytics, and hit verify. It's that simple. That will activate Search Console. It's going to look something like this. Now, what you want to do is submit a sitemap. Now, the main reason you want to do a sitemap is because it serves as a way to communicate directly with the search engines, including Google, Yahoo, and Bing. It alerts them to what's new or what's changed on your website. That way they can quickly index that content and get it ranked on Google quickly and efficiently. So in essence, to set that up, all you're going to do is hit sitemaps. Usually your sitemap is /sitemap.xml, but it can change. Then what you want to do is actually log into your WordPress site. Once you're logged into your site, you're going to go to plugins and add new. And then you're going to make sure you do a search for Yoast and download Yoast SEO. This is hands down the best SEO plugin that you can get for WordPress, and it's free. So once you download that and install it on your website, you're going to go to the SEO tab here, and you're going to go to Dashboard. Now, Yoast has changed a little bit, so it's made it a little bit more difficult to do this. However, it's still pretty simple. So you're just going to go to Features. You're going to do Advanced Settings page and make sure that's enabled and hit Save. Okay, so when you do that, it'll open up all of these different options here. Then you're going to go to XML sitemap and you're going to hit XML sitemap here. And boom, there it is. Now, sometimes Yoast will give you an error, right? So all you need to do is hit disabled, hit save, right? And then go back, enable it, and hit save again. That will reactivate the XML sitemap. Then all you're going to do is take the last part of that sitemap and add it into Search Console. So you're going to add it here. Now, this is different because these are two different sites. I'm just showing you examples. That's why they look different. But you're just going to go add test sitemap, plug it in here. Whoops, I pasted the wrong thing. Let me try that again. Copy, and I'm going to paste that here. It happened again. Okay, so make sure I do this right. There we go. And then just hit test. If it tests properly, then hit submit and then wait. It usually takes a few hours to propagate, but once you do that, you are done. Your Search Console is set up and your sitemap is submitted. Okay, guys, next you want to test your website speed. Testing the load time of your website speaks volumes to your user. If your website is bogged down and takes too long to load, the average user will be out of there in a second and onto your competitor's website. So you need to make sure that your content loads quickly so users can breeze through with minimal downtime. We check load time two ways. One is via Google PageSpeed Insights. That's located here. All you do is plug in your page URL and hit analyze. Once you're in the scores of about 40 to 100, you're in a good spot for load time. Google is a bit stringent on this. So don't be disappointed if you get a poor or a medium score. Just run yours through here and get the result and see if your developer can make those quick changes on the site. A lot of time it's just compressing image files, making sure that coding is leveled correctly, and just making sure that your overall website code is clean. Now, the second option is through Pingdom. And remember, all these links are in the blog, so you can find them there. Let's open that in a new window to show you guys an example. Put that here. So Pingdom is another platform that lets you run a test of your website speed. Now, the reason I like this one a lot is because you can test it from servers around the world. So if your website gets international traffic, you can see how well your website loads from other locations. You just hit test from, it'll give you locations you can test from. For example, you put in your URL and then you run the test. Pingdom will run that analysis for you, tell you how long the load time is, and also give you a performance grade as well. All right, guys, number 6 is download a backup of your website. Every website owner needs to have a backup of their site prior to launch, and there are several ways to do it. The best way to do it, I think, and the easiest is by using Backup WordPress, which is a free plugin from WordPress. All you need to do is install this Backup WordPress plugin. Just hit download and install that onto your WordPress site. Activate the plugin, sit back and relax because everything is getting updated on a daily and weekly basis. Once you have it installed on your site, all you need to go is to Tools, and it'll be there for your access. You can actually download these backup files and your database to Google Drive. So you can have all these backups on your Google Drive that periodically back up. And then you can also download them from here. So if you're updating your website and let's say something breaks, a plugin breaks, you update WordPress framework and something goes wrong, you always have backups so that you can reference them and go back to them to enable them in the future. All right, guys, next step is to make sure you optimize your title tags and meta descriptions. If a web developer is working on your site, you want to make sure the page architecture is prepared for launch. You should have great titles and meta descriptions to entice users on search and provide a quick snippet of what your website provides. Here's an example. So if you search our company on Google, this is what comes up. So we've got a title describing what we do. And then we also have a meta description here providing a little bit more detail what we provide. Then, of course, you have site link extensions and all this other good stuff. But overall, you want to make sure your titles and meta descriptions are great. Now, the title is factored into SEO. Make sure it has the keyword that you're trying to index on Google for. And then the meta description doesn't really have any SEO value. However, you want it to be a call to action that entices users to click your link. Now, what you can do is tailor these titles and meta descriptions to entice users to click your content. According to Moz, Google typically displays the first 50 to 60 characters of a title tag. So if you keep your titles under 60, research suggests that you expect about 90% of your title to display properly. The meta description, you can go up to about 160 characters. Now, a beginner in SEO, this can be hard to remember. So what you want to do is actually download the plugin that we discussed earlier called Yoast. Yoast makes it extremely easy. So for example, we're on a website page for one of our clients. If we scroll down under the content, if we have Yoast installed, it will give us this Yoast SEO plugin feature here. Now, what we can do is we can write our title and meta description here to optimize, right? So all I'm going to do is click here. I can put in my SEO title. This green gives me that score. The slug, I'm not going to put a slug, which is kind of like the URL because it's the home page, so there is no slug. And then the meta description here, right? So it's giving me an orange option, so I can actually make that green by adding in a little bit more content. Right? So now that's green as well. The focus keyword is going to be your main keyword for that page. So if your website's about mechanical engineering, and you want to rank that page for mechanical engineering, that's where your focus keyword would be. You'd also want that keyword in your title and in your meta description as well. Now, Yoast, which is pretty awesome, will give you an analysis of your page. So it'll give you green dots based on what you're doing correctly, red dots on things that you can improve on. Now, all of these don't have to be flawless. As long as you scroll to the top and you see SEO good, you're pretty much in the green there, literally. Readability can sometimes be a little skewed, so that really depends on your user and your demographic. Then you just hit update and boom. And you can do that across the board on all of the pages of your website. That way you have titles and meta descriptions, so when people are searching for you, they're finding your content, all your titles and descriptions look clean and concise. Next up, you want to check every page of your website for calls to action. You're developing a website for a reason, right? To create conversions. It's probably a good idea to make sure there's some type of call to action on each page. A call to action's purpose is to cause your user to perform an action, whether it's to download an ebook, call you, or complete a form. You want to be sure that every page has some type of this action. These can include a chat messenger bot that pops up and asks them for their info or asks them to discuss things, a call to action banner, a subscription pop-up, or downloadable content. So these don't need to be blatant and really cheesy. They can be more subtle. They can be included in the content so it looks organic. And if you're promoting a blog, make it simple for users to download a doc or PDF by filling in their email. So this is a really cool product that Google just released called the Jamboard. As you can see, right at the top right, we've got two calls to action. We can buy it, we can contact. There's also a button here as well. And then as I scroll, it shows me some more options. Great, I can click here to watch a video about the Jamboard, the top questions, and then boom, another call to action with a subscription form. Another example is the Mavic Pro, which is this really cool drone that I've been looking to buy. If you scroll a little bit, you can see that there's a buy now button, which is extremely important. As you can see, it's the blue color, so it stands out against the backdrop. And then there's also more calls to action to watch video content. As I scroll more and more, there's information, and then there's other calls to action regarding similar products. So you want to make sure you have something like that on every page, so that way on any page that someone visits, they can perform an action and get to you as quickly as possible. Okay guys, number 9, you want to check page images include relevant alt tags. Image tags are severely overlooked. For any image on your site, the alt tag should describe what's on it. Screen readers for the blind and visually impaired will read out this text and thus make your image accessible. When Google bots crawl your webpage, they don't see images. All they see is HTML text. By optimizing image content with alt tags, you're helping Google rank and prioritize your content. Alt tags provide better image context descriptions to search engine crawlers, helping them index an image properly. So for example, if I'm on my website and WordPress on the back end, I'm in my media library, right? So these are all of my recent images. If I click this image, for example, which is one of our client development sites, you can see that the title is Davis Gallimore Interiors 54 Digital, right? And then the alt text is Davis Gallimore Interiors website development. So this is what Google will see. Google does not see this image content. All it sees is the text describing it. So you want to make sure you fill out this alt text information for all of your images. All you need to do is go to media, click the image, and change the alt text right here. It's that simple. Now to show you an example, I'm gonna pull this image, and as you can see, the title is Travel Dry Bag 5 liter, right? So if I do a search for that, you can see it comes up all of these in the image. And if I just do Travel Dry Bag and I hit images, it'll show me 1, 2, 3, 4, a whole bunch of images within those parameters. So that's why it's important to use your alt text for your image content, because it also indexes in Google and you can actually get traffic from really great images. Guys, the last thing you want to do is test form completions on your website. If you can't receive email inquiries, then what's the point? This can be done by simply completing all forms on your site and seeing if they are received. So just go to your website, fill out each form, and then just hit submit. If they don't work with your developer to get your forms activated. One of our favorite plugins is Contact Form 7. It's really versatile. You can edit it in HTML, make it look really awesome, and then just test it out. Thank you guys again for checking out our content. We appreciate every view. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe right here, and we'll see you next week. Peace.